found out I have a lot of endurance. I may not be fast, but I could kind of just keep on going.
Commitment and discipline are the two main things Mayor George Chen focuses on when he hits the pavement.
There are days during the 18-week training plan, if I'm training for a marathon, you may have an injury. You may have a cold. Don't let it keep you down. You get back up.
He carried that mentality to work for 33 years at Raytheon.
I started out as an intern back when I was still at UCLA. I started in the engineering area, then I moved into program management, which gave me the opportunity to manage multi-million-dollar programs. When you're speaking to Navy admirals or Navy captains, these are very high-level people, so you gotta get to the point, very C-spot run messages.
Chen retired in July 2017 at the age of 55, thinking he knew exactly what came next.
I actually had 3 things on my bucket list. 1, train for an Ironman triathlon. The second thing was write a book. The theme was going to be a glimpse of God's amazing grace. I'm the product of a blue-collar worker family. We're a family of 5. Came here with my parents from Taiwan. I was probably around 4, and then I started first grade here. We had to scrape for everything we had. I was also once a paper boy. Worked in my parents' restaurant called House of Chen down the street on Carson Street. It was that type of upbringing. And to be able to retire from Raytheon as a single income family, raise 2 kids, college graduates, both married, no debt. I really felt that, had a glimpse or a taste of God's amazing grace. And I was going to write a book just detailing how much we've been blessed. The third thing was I was thinking about starting a new ministry in our church, leadership development for young men, taking men out, doing outdoor activities such as hiking, camping, the things I did when I was young, and that could teach them in real life skills, leadership skills.
As clear as those bucket list items were, Chen says God revealed other plans for him.
Before I was driving out to Yosemite, I just felt a deep sense of calling, and it's almost like a message from God. It's it. And I want you to consider thinking about running for city council. So before I went there, I just went to Google. I went to Torrance City, and literally I did that, city council seats. And I told my wife, hey, there's 3 seats open.
Though unfamiliar with city matters, Chen started to see how his background could help him as he began his journey as a civic leader.
It's really a combination of life, skills, and experience, and what values I have. I think those are the 3 key things I look at in my transition from the private sector to a council. The basic job of most engineers is we're problem solvers. We're looking way far in advance how to anticipate the problems that we need to solve. Secondly, when I moved into program management, managing programs, then managing budgets, fiscal responsibility, risk management. Once you have enough experience, you start looking at what are trips and traps that could hurt the program. If you think about that and transfer in the city, who are my customers now? It's the residents of Torrance. And what are the requirements? It could be the quality of life issues. Now that I'm a grandfather, what's Torrance going to be like for my 2 grandsons? So we have to have a vision much farther than 5 years or 10 years.
Chen ran 3 successful campaigns, twice for city council and most recently for the mayoral seat.
Most people said, you have no qualifications to run for city council. Who are you? No one even knows you. And they're correct. But does that make me qualified or a good councilman? Does my life experience count? Does my ability to live within my means count? Does the fact that I retired at the age of 55 on a single income with 2 adult children married count? And does my experience technically in solving problems count? Does my experience as a program manager managing multi-million-dollar budgets and successfully executing them count? I think a lot of times people in the community don't think about that type of background, life and professional experience when they're looking at who's the best elected official. The people around you sees your quality, your ethics, your lifestyle, your discipline, your hard work.
Chen says all of his hard work comes from a strong foundation.
My faith is just part of my life. It helps guide my values. And people see me and have known and see that my values the last 4 years, whether it's to be charitable, to be understanding, to be loving, but to also balance love with justice. There needs to be that balance. It's not always one way or the other.
Chen also credits his wife for helping him to pursue this path.
She allows me to do what I do. To do the job well, it takes full-time effort and energy. Amy allows me to have the confidence that I don't have to worry what's going on at home, because I know the home is solid.
The mayor is excited for the city's future and says he's already starting to see changes taking place.
We're so strategically located, so we need to market ourselves as a micronation so that we not only attract local businesses, but we also go global. My purpose is really just doing the best, given this current opportunity to serve the community. I never planned for it. I'm gonna give it my best. You all get 100% of me every day, not just on council meeting. You get it every day. Whether you see me doing it or not, I'm still giving you 100%. I'm not always gonna make the right decision or the perfect decision, but you'll know that my motive and desire is what's best for the residents.
Please welcome Mayor George Chen to the stage.
All right, this is it. Thank you all for coming. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the City of Torrance and the Torrance City Council, thank you for joining me today. I am truly excited and humbled to deliver my inaugural State of the City as your mayor. Before I get started, I'd like to introduce all of my colleagues on the Torrance City Council. I think we've done this already earlier, so I ask you hold your applause until I introduce all of them. Councilman Mike Griffiths, Councilman John Kagi, Councilwoman Sharon Kalani, Councilman Aurelio Matucci, Councilman Assam Sheikh, and the newest to join our council is Councilwoman Bridget Lewis. I'd also like to introduce our city clerk, Rebecca Poirier, and city's treasurer, Tim Goodrich. I want to thank all of them for their dedication and efforts to work together. I know over the next 4 years, they will continue helping me govern our great city, creating a vibrant future for Torrance. I'd also like to thank our city manager, Aram Shaparian, City Attorney Patrick Sullivan, Assistant City Manager Danny Santana, Assistant City Attorney Tasha Strader, and the entire executive staff of our city. And a big thanks to all of our wonderful employees who continue to work behind the scenes with little fanfare. I also need to offer special thanks, I'm sure my colleagues will agree, to our entire administrative staff, all of whom helped make my transition to councilman to mayor so seamless. Also, thank you, Michael Smith, Jin Chung, Christine Lee, who helped organize my thoughts and words and produce the video to share a little bit about who I am, what motivates me daily, and why I'm so passionate about Torrance. Lastly, and most importantly, special thanks to my wife, Amy, who is here today, and my 2 daughters for their unconditional love and support. It's because of you who managed to make our home a warm and loving place that enabled me to chase my dreams and pursue my goals. Today, I'd like to share with you my values, vision, courage, and commitment for the city of Torrance. As we come out of the historic pandemic and get back on our feet, I can tell you I'm optimistic. Our future is bright. Not just for our dedicated residents who love this community as much as I do, but for the valuable business community as well. Throughout the pandemic, each and every one of us weathered through some of the hardest times of our lives, but we survived. You're here today, and we're going to make our future brighter than ever. During the crisis, it's not about the disaster, it's about how we respond. As a city, we took actions immediately. We pivoted quickly, and we moved into problem-solving mode with the goal of keeping Torrance moving forward. To understand my values, I have to take you back from my childhood and family. As you saw, some of my old family photos and video, my siblings and I were products of immigrant Taiwanese family. I saw them sacrifice, struggle, provide the best possible foundation for my siblings and I. Growing up in a foreign country, learning a new language, adapting to new cultures, we had a clear understanding of what it meant to achieve the American dream. My parents came here in the late 60s, picking up odd jobs to make ends meet. They were looking for a better future for our family. They saw opportunity as many immigrant families did, and they made a wonderful life for us. They showed my siblings and I what hard work, perseverance, and dedication look like. They were faithful. They were committed. I still can remember my father working at his auto repair shop, where I used to help in the summers, or the many evenings I spent helping my family at their restaurant, which was called House of Chen. They were passionate about instilling core values that I'm so proud to continue to carry today. I fell in love with sports at an early age. From the love of basketball to athletics in general, I became an avid runner. I love to exercise, participate in outdoor endurance activities. I try to stay consistent working out. It keeps me alive. As a runner, I used that time for personal therapy, to decompress, clear my mind, and often ideas and solutions to various issues pop into my head. While I used to train for 1 marathon a year, now I run 3 half marathons a year instead, which gives my knees a little bit of a break. And like running a marathon, I knew running for elected office would be a challenging process, as I had no experience in the area, nor did I ever serve on a commission. I had to learn and train for the long game and apply my personal and professional experience to an entirely different field. As the video mentioned, once I retired from racing, I knew I wasn't finished. Actually, it was the end of the first half of my life and the beginning of the second half, and it is different. The second half is very public, with the opportunity to serve my community, opening the window of my life, sharing what I believe in, and my commitment to providing the kind of leadership that takes us into the future. In 2018, I was first elected on the Torrance City Council with no political experience. My passion and my enthusiasm for this great city, along with my life and professional experience, was enough to win the seat. Then, in 2020, I again was elected to serve, to represent West Torrance in District 2 as their council member. And now I am honored and humbled to serve as the first mayor of Asian descent for this great city. I ran on a platform to guide the city into the future, more fiscally stable while developing a technology and business innovation hub in Torrance. I plan to seek the best value solution for the city to implement that will yield the greatest impact on public safety, finances, and quality of life. On June 7th, the residents of Torrance elected a diverse group of leaders who sit beside me on the City Council. As a whole, we offer a wide range of knowledge and professional experience with common goals. We all want a safe and strong community, support our businesses, provide recreational and athletic opportunities for all ages, first-rate education for our kids and grandkids, and a great vision of future for our success. I'm proud to say I'm now a grandpa of 2 grandsons, so I'm laser focused not only on solving the problems of today, but also creating a vibrant future for them. On August 9th, we opened up our City Council chambers to the public once again, after nearly 2 years of meeting virtually for the safety of our community. We are confident having our community back in our chambers will provide an opportunity to engage and get civically involved once again. We may not always agree on things, but this is a true platform to exercise democracy. This new council offers a balanced background and a wealth of experience. Our 2 new council members who were elected on June 7th John Kagi in District 1, and Assam Sheikh in District 3 together offer more than 50 years of professional experience. John Kagi, a small business owner with deep roots in Torrance community, is focused on business attraction and retention. His connections domestically and internationally will serve the city well into the future. Assam Sheikh has 25 years under his belt at American Honda Motor Company. He has background in finance, is known as a problem solver among his colleagues. He is a lifelong student. He wasn't satisfied with just one master's degree. He needed a second one. He and I shared a common success story of living the American dream. The city also re-elected Aurelia Matucci for a second term to represent District 5, and the talented immigrant who moved to the United States as a young child continues to advocate for a cleaner and safer community. And he is known as Mr. Clean. He is outspoken with strong convictions, and he can sometimes be very passionate and expressive. But I know it all comes from a place of love and commitment to this community. We have Sharon Kalani in District Number 4, who's been on the council since 2020. She has an extensive career in banking and currently works as a trusted advisor at Green Hills Memorial Park. If you know her, you know you can always count on her for a hug. She is compassionate, caring, and a lifelong volunteer. Her community involvement includes Torrance South Bay YMCA, Torrance Memorial, along with various leadership roles on a number of communities. We also have Mike Griffiths, District 6, in the City Council. He was appointed City Council in 2014 and then elected in 2016 and again in 2020. He is our most senior member on the council. His advocacy for the city, for businesses and residents resonates with all of us. He is leading the effort to challenge Senate Bill 9, a state law that would strip local control over zoning for single-family homes and neighborhoods. Thank you for your continued effort to represent Torrance and our desire to maintain local control. Then, on August 31st, we completed our council with the appointment of Bridget Lewis. She is a manager of security operations at Port of Long Beach. She oversees not only security operations at the nation's second largest seaport, but the operations at the Central California Maritime Coordination Center, housed at the port's state-of-the-art Security Command and Control Center. Rounding out our elected leadership, we have City Clerk Rebecca Poirier, who ran unopposed, which tells you something about how she's doing. And finally, our newly elected City Treasurer, Tim Goodrich, which, as many of you may remember, is a former Torrance City Councilman. The makeup of our elected leaders is a great reflection of our community. The diversity among us between personal and professional experience, cultural backgrounds, and all that we bring to the dais, I couldn't have handpicked a better team to represent our great city. I would be remiss if I did not thank former Mayor and colleague Patrick Fury for all of his steadfast leadership for the past 8 years. While he cannot be here today, representing the Fury team is his wife, Terry. She knows firsthand, especially during the pandemic, Mayor Fury was level-headed, always practical, and put the community's health and well-being above all else. When the election was over, he shared words of encouragement, passing on what felt like the City Hall torch. We experienced a historic 2.5 years of economic challenges, lives lost, and at one point, a complete shutdown of business and schools. It undeniably took a toll on our economy, our business, our workforce, our students, and families. But as I mentioned before, we have to keep Torrance moving forward. As we're rebuilding to the future, I want to assure you we will be conservative spenders. We will work to put the city's finances back on track. Thanks to our city finance department, led by our brilliant Sheila Poisson, we are moving in the right direction. While I did not support SST because of the idea of raising taxes and the implication to our business owners and shoppers, Torrance voters voiced their support by passing the measure by 54.9%. So, on October 1, the city will adopt a new ordinance establishing a half-cent sales tax, bringing it to 10%. This equates to 50 cents per $100 purchase. The tax will not be collected on items such as prescription medication or groceries. 100% of the revenue will come back to the city and remain here locally. This will help maintain city services such as public safety, improve aging infrastructure, support our senior services, address the growing epidemic of homelessness. Staff estimates that nearly $18 million will be generated annually. Our finance department will make available to the public an annual independent audit report. A committee will receive reports on revenues and expenditures from the tax, as well as reviewing proposed spending plans to ensure full transparency. As your mayor, I personally met and interacted with countless members of our business community, large and small, to encourage their efforts and to offer support of the city of Torrance. Thanks to many of you here today. I'm looking forward to working closely together and keep Torrance moving forward. One of the signs of an improving economy is business growth and the strength of our workforce. Just in the last 3 months, Torrance issued 142 new business licenses, with an additional 218 licenses approval for the work to be done by contractors doing business in Torrance. Unemployment rates here in Torrance for the second quarter stands at 3.7%. Each quarter, we're seeing significant declines. This time last year, we stood at 8.2%. In 2020, at the start of the pandemic, unemployment rates hit a record high at 16.5% here in Torrance. Now, we have one of the lowest numbers throughout the South Bay, and that is great news. Our ribbon-cutting partnership with the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce is bustling. I've been invited to ribbon-cutting ceremonies, grand openings, and anniversary celebrations weekly. Since July, there have been 7 ribbon cuttings, 7 more scheduled in the coming weeks. I'm not sure I have enough ties to rotate for all these great upcoming events. Since taking office, I've been focused on energizing the business relationships we share locally and internationally. I'm thrilled to share that recently we've hosted visits by the Japan Consul General of LA and the Japanese Business Association at City Hall. Next week, we'll host the Korea Consul General of LA with the goal of strengthening our relationships, encourage business to enter the market, promote cultural exchanges, and even study abroad programs. And in November, the Taiwanese American Chamber of Commerce of Greater LA is planning to visit. Thank you to Torrance Chamber CEO Donna Duperon and her amazing staff for hosting this great event today. You're a great ally to our city and to our business community. I look forward to working closely with you over the next 4 years. I'm pleased to tell you that the city of Torrance remains strong, and I, along with my colleagues, am aware of our challenges. Integral departments within our city, like our Torrance Police and Fire departments, are what continues to rank Torrance one of the best places to live and work. I want to thank our many men and women in uniform who protect life and property, who make the daily sacrifice so that all of us can sleep with ease. Whether you're wearing a police or fire uniform, they're all working towards providing a safer community for our residents and for our business partners. While we've had some rough hurdles recently, we continue to keep Torrance moving forward. Thanks to the leadership of Torrance Chief Jay Hart, we are rebuilding and embracing change. The Chief is working in collaboration with State Attorney General Rob Bonta to ensure the appropriate steps are taken to achieve justice. I spoke with Mr. Bonta last week at an API elected official summit, and he told me how appreciative he is of Chief Hart and the collaboration with TPD. Chief Hart said, misconduct where officers fall below the standard will not be tolerated. We will do better. Thank you for your steadfast leadership and guidance. In line with Chief Hart's vision of 21st century policing, the department hosts principal policing classes for all sworn and civilian personnel. This procedural justice and implicit bias training consists of 6 areas that focus on policing approaches that emphasize respect, listening, neutrality, and trust, while recognizing and addressing implicit biases that can be barriers to these approaches. Torrance Police is one of the first agencies to develop course, get it certified by the state of California, and require all police department personnel to take it. TPD is proud to participate in the FBI's National Incident-Based Reporting System. It collects data detail, gives context to specific crime, and provides analytics needed to support law enforcement agencies. As a standard for national data collection, this system represents a substantial shift in the way Torrance Police reports crime. It also helps to better inform the public about the nature of crime in our city, providing detailed, accurate, and meaningful information related to the crime. Our officers continue to serve this community with courage and tact, and I commend the department for your sacrifices. I'm also thankful for the Torrance Fire Department for their community involvement. Led by our interim chief, Chief Dave Dumais, they are a shining light within their field. Chief Dumais, along with our Deputy Fire Marshal, Richard Kazanjian, heads the Community Risk Reduction Division. The division is recognized by the state for their strong leadership and for providing and leading regulatory refinery oversight, not only in Torrance, but across the state. During the recent California Unified Program annual training conference, Torrance Fire was recognized as a leading agency in the effort of refinery safety. TFD is also both accredited and ISO Class 1 rated. Only 1 of 5 departments in the state and only 1 of 113 departments worldwide hold both designations. And that is good news for all of you. Having a fire department with an ISO Class 1 rating lowers insurance rates for its residents and businesses. Accredited agencies like Torrance Fire are described as being community and outcome-focused, data-driven, strategic-minded, well-organized, properly equipped, and properly staffed and trained. That sounds like our fire department, right? The fire department's patient transportation program has expanded their capabilities to maintain continuous care from the moment residents dial 911 until the transfer of care in the hospital. And while the cost of ambulance transportation hasn't changed, thanks to this program, we're now able to retain the funds rather than paying a global transportation company. As the department moves to strive to improve their capabilities, like the patient transportation program, there are several advancements launching shortly. With a focus on efficiency, we will be utilizing state-of-the-art technology to improve services to ensure the appropriate resources are provided during emergencies. As I mentioned earlier, homelessness has been a growing concern for all of the state of California. 1/3 of the state's homeless population resides here in the Los Angeles County alone. The pandemic exacerbated the issue, and we saw a startling rise in the number of people living on the streets. City staff recognized this was a growing concern that needed to be addressed. And let me tell you, there isn't a single city in Southern California untouched by this crisis. So what did Torrance do? We went to work. With the support of Social Service Commission, along with my colleagues and I, city staff designed a plan and program to offer temporary housing, sought funding from our local legislators, and 3290 Temporary Housing Village was built. This is the product of hard work and commitment by the staff and the community. While we're not the first to provide a solution to the unhoused, our 40-unit tiny homes village was built in record time. And thanks to LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Assemblyman Al Maritsucci, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and Congressman Ted Lieu, Senators Alex Padilla and Dianne Feinstein, along with the South Bay City's Council of Government. They understood our mission. They went to bat for us. We opened our doors on July 5th, and within the first few weeks, we were at capacity. We hope that providing housing stability will be a life-changing experience. Thanks to Harbor Interfaith, who manages the village, offering resources and service to everyone at 3290. Already, the 5 residents at 3290 are now employed in full or part-time jobs, and 6 have been matched to a permanent supportive housing site in LA County, which is expected to open later this year. The Los Angeles Homeless Service Authority, or LAHSA, released the result of the 2022 homeless count just last week. And Torrance, along with some of the neighboring communities who are also addressing the issues of homelessness, may be doing something right. Service Planning Area 8, which covers the South Bay, showed a decrease within our region and a 5% decline here in Torrance. While that's great news, there's still more work to do. We know the village will not solve the epidemic of homelessness, but it is addressing the crisis with tangible results. Those unhoused, tangible results for opportunities for those unhoused to change the course of their lives for the better. On Monday, the city hosted a meeting with State Attorney General Bonta, Los Angeles County Supervisor Hahn, Assemblyman Al Maritsucci, and Senator Steve Bradford to discuss the future of hosting a monthly homeless court in Torrance. The program is designed to reach those individuals who are most resistant to accepting, needing services due to the chronic mental illness or addiction, with the ultimate goal of helping them get into permanent housing and off the streets. Open cases are addressed with a judge in a less threatening environment and with different service providers on site as well. Thank you to Supervisor Hahn for being a champion of many of our Torrance initiatives. She has committed nearly $250,000 to help fund this pilot program, and we are thrilled to receive the support. As we continue to evolve, I'm excited to see these kinds of positive changes happening in our community. Our city has gone from oil fields to manufacturing to clean technology, and we will continue to grow. One thing the pandemic did not slow down is growth in business. Torrance has become an epicenter of technology with companies like Epirus, 3DO, Vardaspace, Stellant Systems, Avanti, Aerovant, and Telesense, just to name a few that now call Torrance home. There's also exciting developments happening at Torrance Gateway property owned by the Ceres Regis Group, as Phase 2 is now 100% leased. Industries like aerospace, manufacturing, sporting goods, biotech will occupy 5 buildings totaling 730,000 square feet of office space. The city's Office of Economic Development helped launch a technology committee this spring, acting as an advisor group to the city. Among the 30-member communities, there is a vast range of representation from companies like American Honda, Blue Robotics, 3DO, Bachem, Polypeptide, Rivian, 68 Labs, Totex, Celestron, PBF Energy, and many more. The committee was formed to develop strategies to attract and retain high-tech businesses, create tools to better market Torrance for new and rapidly changing technology, and provide the support necessary for tech business to thrive in Torrance, along with offering higher-paying jobs. This will provide another avenue for business networking and potential partnerships, in addition to city services you may not yet be aware or take advantage of. Earlier this year, the Community Development Department, led by the pragmatic and down-to-earth Michelle Ramirez, launched a new property rehabilitation rebate program. This program offers financial incentives to renovation, restoration, and preservation of exterior facade by privately owned businesses. Funded by the Office of Economic Development, improvements can be related to exterior painting, door and window repair, anti-graffiti for glass windows and doors, just to name a few. Approved licensed business could obtain a rebate of up to 50% of the cost of the facade improvement. You can reach out to the Community Development Department at cddinfo@torranceca.gov. This is just one of the many advantages of doing business in Torrance and one of the many ways we're keeping Torrance moving forward. We're proud to have high-tech, forward-thinking businesses such as Landy Renzo call Torrance home. In line with the city's strategic plan, the stewardship of the environment, Torrance proudly supports the efforts of Landy Renzo and the Southern California Gas, the partnership to reduce emissions and move towards a more sustainable future, not only for our city, but for our region and the world. This initiative fits in line with one popular program called including the 1 Mile, 1 Charger project, which addressed the lack of publicly accessible electric vehicle charging stations within the city nearly 8 years ago. When people ask, why Torrance? The answer is balance, opportunity, proximity, and the many advantages of calling Torrance home. We have competitive utility and business license fees, a portfolio of major industries, skilled labor pools, proximity to Los Angeles and Long Beach ports, LAX, Zamperini Field, and freeway access. Not that we need reminders, but Torrance continues to make various best of lists in every industry. The Alamo Fashion Center was listed number 12 as one of the best malls in America for 2022. Its unique architecture, a diverse selection of shops, and for their restaurant options. MoneyTalksNews.com listed Torrance as one of the best cities to raise a family, thanks to many wonderful services available. And CaliforniaCityNews.org recently listed Torrance as one of the best small cities for diversity. Torrance is proud to carry a reputation of being a business-friendly, customer-centered city. And just the other day, I read GoVerizon.com's report of the top business-savvy cities to start a business. And of all the cities in the country, Torrance topped that list at number 6. Torrance's excellent year-round climate, beautiful open space, theaters and arts, nationwide rankings for safety and livability, and excellent schools continue to put Torrance on the map. One important method of moving Torrance forward is our mobility and access to public transportation. Thanks to Torrance Transit, led by tenacious Kim Turner and her remarkable team, they helped provide 2 million trips this last fiscal year. That's a 11.3 increase from the previous year. Torrance Transit continues to increase service reliability and communication to customers with implementation of real-time bus service adjustment detours on the Transit app, Google Maps, and on other customer interface mobile applications. With the opening of the new Mary Kay Giordano Transit Center, hopefully later this year, the new state-of-the-art transportation hub will help reduce single-occupancy vehicle trips, improve regional mobility connecting Torrance transit routes with other regional providers in the transit terminal. This facility, named after former Assistant City Manager Mary G., is a true testament of her dedication, hard work, determination, and a commitment to the city of Torrance as an employee and a resident. I think she would have been so proud to finally see this parcel of land developed into this impressive state-of-the-art facility. The center is located at 465 Crenshaw Boulevard, and we can't wait for it to be fully operational. Another important item coming our way is the proposed Metro C Line project. This project will impact businesses, all of you, and all of our commuters. Los Angeles Metro is proposing 2 options of providing a light rail to pass through Torrance. The first alignment is the Metro Railroad right-of-way alignment, where the train would utilize the existing railroad right-of-way to connect with the Mary Kay Giordano Transit Center. This alignment is fully funded and part of the LA Metro's top priority projects to be completed by the 2028 Olympics. The second option, which the city strongly opposes, is an elevated train along Hawthorne Boulevard down to 190th Street before entering the railroad right-of-way. This will create significant impact to our businesses and residents in Torrance. This option is not fully funded and will further delay the project past 2030. We invite all of you as stakeholders to join the upcoming Transportation Committee meeting to learn more about this project and the impacts it will have on our community. Members of LA Metro will provide a presentation on the C line, and we'll have staff available to answer any questions you may have. The meeting will be hosted inside the Leroy J. Jackson Council Chamber and take place on Wednesday, September 28th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It will be presented in a hybrid mode with an in-person and virtual options available. I encourage every one of you to join us in person or remotely. The strength of Torrance is measured by how well we respond to the challenges and how well we overcome the obstacles ahead of us. It's having the courage to make difficult decisions, understanding the needs of the community. As we move forward, Torrance Unified School District remains the cornerstone of excellent education. Congratulations to our superintendent, Dr. Tim Stowe, our Torrance School Board, and all of our teachers and administrators for their effort. I'm so pleased to see TUSD students thrive and succeed year after year. Torrance students continue to be recognized for accomplishments in academics, athletics, and the district for its enrichment programs such as service learning and environmental efforts. Torrance launched its Spanish dual immersion program in the district at Carr and Torrance elementary schools. This educational model that integrates native English speakers and native speakers of a target language in the same classroom offer children an opportunity to become fluent in 2 languages while developing academic skills in core subjects. Did you know TUSD was also voted Best District in the South Bay by the Daily Breeze for the 2nd year in a row? They continue to be recognized for exceptional and innovative educational programs, career technical education, early college program at North High School, world-class facilities, and the state-of-the-art auditoriums. The Torrance Aquatic Center is currently being used as the official training center for the U.S. men's national water polo team. The faculty, administrators, and parents who support our students should be applauded for their tenacity, dedication, commitment to education, and to our children. The City Social Service Commission also partnered up with TUSD this summer to coordinate a back-to-school supplies drive. Families in need or experiencing housing instability were able to select supplies for their children to prepare for the academic year. Nearly 50 families were touched by this outreach as the public showed an outpouring of support for this drive. We are so fortunate to also have one of the best community colleges in the region. Led by Superintendent and President of El Camino College, Dr. Brenda Thames. Each semester, nearly 30,000 students enroll at the college to work towards one of the nearly 96 programs taught by exceptional faculty. Their developed reputation for providing an environment that supports opportunity for student success. They are among the top 5 California State University transfer schools. With their nursing program, they are ranked among the best in the state and nationally. Torrance has always provided a place for students and families to thrive. And thanks to the Community Service Department led by the innovative John LeBrock, we continue who continues to support our youth and adults with wonderful parks, spaces to play along with recreational programs. In fact, tomorrow, the Torrance Library will celebrate the grand reopening of El Retiro Library. After some renovations this summer, this community resource is now back, better than ever. Torrance youth continue to impress me with their excellence and spirit of giving, and it inspires me to continue to explore different ways of partnering with them. We have athletes ranging in all ages and sports representing Torrance in tournaments across the country. I've always said, no matter what place you come in, as long as your heart is in it, you're all winners in my book. Speaking of winners, I want to applaud the LA Galaxy and their ongoing support with the youth sports in the city of Torrance. Earlier this year, we renamed the soccer field adjacent to the Civic Center the LA Galaxy Sports Complex. It's okay, it's okay. We also refurbished the roller rink, which is now called the Sports Complex at Wilson Park. This year, we hosted Rugby Week in Torrance. We welcomed players from the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series as they battled it out for the championship. As the Summer Olympics head back to Los Angeles in 2028, these amenities for our youth and youth sports will remain a big draw for the region. Speaking of quality of life, Torrance is fortunate to have so many great hospitals, medical centers to serve the needs of our community. According to our U.S. News and World Report, Torrance Memorial Medical Center ranked number 5 in LA and OC region. They're also ranked in the top 3% best hospitals throughout California. Across town, Providence Little Company of Mary was named among Newsweek's World's Best Hospitals in 2022. They also received Pacific Neuroscience Institute's National Stroke Award this year. Kaiser Permanente and UCLA Health, with facilities in Torrance, also rank among the best for their patient service here in Torrance. With those hospitals and so many other medical facilities, Torrance can certainly hold the claim to the title Healthcare Capital of the Los Angeles County. Now, you've driven down Hawthorne Boulevard or Pacific Coast Highway. You may have noticed a little road construction. The Public Works Department, led by a focus-driven Craig Belazarian, is hard at work, continuing the PCH at Hawthorne Boulevard Intersection Improvement Project, which started in 2021. It is anticipated to be complete early next year. With the congestion and construction may be inconvenient at the moment, soon we'll have widened streets, dual left turn lanes, and a dedicated right turn lane in all 4 directions. This will provide better traffic flow as well as safer driving conditions for our community. Speaking of streets and streetscape division of our Public Works Department has planted 288 trees, 2,600 feet of new landscape in our center mediums just this year. The Torrance Airport Stormwater Project is also on the horizon and currently in design phase. It's anticipated to capture 55 acre-feet of stormwater and urban runoff every year. It will capture, clean, and reuse this precious water source we call water. Speaking of the airport, I'm happy to report that all 7 noise monitors are recording and storing data now at Zamperini Field. These tools will allow staff to use the system to investigate complaints and follow up with any violators of the city's noise ordinance. If you traveled this summer, you may have noticed busy airports, hotels, and many more cars on the road. Torrance continues to be a center for tourism and visitors. With our California Welcome Center at Del Amo Fashion Center, it remains one of the top destinations in our city. Del Amo officials share that their sales are outperforming 2019, which is their benchmark as their last stabilized year. Business is strong, and their leasing activities continue to be busy. Looking ahead, several popular restaurants will expand their footprint as they open their newest location in Del Amo, including MB Grill, North Italia, Kitchen of Korea, Kasuki Ramen, and Sweet Greens. And soon you'll be able to shop from retailers including Aeropostale, Psycho Bunny, and Top Canvas, just to name a few. Our Office of Economic Development continues to forge opportunities with the Torrance Visitors Bureau to allow more people to discover Torrance. Our hospitals, restaurant, and business scene are Instagram-worthy and continue to be a driving destination point for tourists. And I just read Torrance Chamber Board member Vince Giuliano and his fantastic restaurant, Gaetano's, was named Daily Breeze Reader's Choice winner for Best Italian Food. Congratulations on being a fan favorite. It's really no surprise. And congratulations on opening Pacini Italian Takeout earlier this year. Here's a story of a business owner who saw the challenges everyone faced with being stuck with limited takeout options during the pandemic. He decided it was time to develop a new kind of takeout option. Torrance has an amazing selection of restaurants and cuisines, which are fan favorites to many. If you haven't been to either of those two, both are a must-try in Torrance. So, what's ahead? The City of Torrance will soon be seeking proposals from experienced and professional firms to give our citywide municipal website an update. And in just a few short weeks, we will launch the city's official app on both iPhone and Android systems. It will provide access to service requests, inquiries, notifications, and much more, just by the press of a button. In less than a month, the City of Torrance, in conjunction with Torrance Social Service Commission, will host a hybrid celebration. An in-person Veterans Day Appreciation Luncheon and Resource Fair is scheduled for October 21st, with a virtual celebration to be held November 6th through the 12th. And looking ahead, the Torrance Sister City Association will celebrate 50 years of promoting friendship, goodwill, and understanding between the City of Torrance and the city of Kashiwa, Japan. Since 1973, the international relationship now spans generations, and the goal of TSCA is to provide resources for enhancing this people-to-people interaction. I want to offer a special thanks to Torrance Sister City Association and all of their volunteers for their efforts with this phenomenal program and for continuing this amazing tradition. We have a lot to look forward to in the coming months, and I look forward to leading the city with virtue, authenticity, and humility. I want to thank you all once again for joining me today to share with you what is in process, development, direction, and in store with Torrance. With your help and guidance, I know that we can be trailblazing our path to building relationships, partnerships, and economic development in our great city. Why Torrance? Each of you have a stake in that answer. Each of you provide a reason for people to want to move to Torrance, visit, shop, travel, check out the Why Torrance experience. We have history, character, inspired leadership, committed families, excellent public safety and schools, top-notch hospitals, great neighborhoods, and open spaces. Our businesses are rebounding and thriving in the post-COVID era, and there are many great opportunities ahead of us. The great UCLA men's basketball coach, John Wooden, said his father taught him to live by the adage, make each day your masterpiece. So I invite you to join me. Make each of your days a masterpiece too. And together, let's keep Torrance moving forward. Thank you for allowing me to share my State of the City of Torrance with you. God bless you.